And we're back.
Game point.
It's not a. It's match point.
It was already match point last game. I had to
Now
say
it's
something
match.
different.
No, you didn't.
Go ahead. And what?
We are back. This is game 5. This is
game
everything
5.
is on the line here. This is finally a game 5 in our grand finals. MAAD City versus McMaster University. And these two teams are just out here having some epic games. It's insane.
One match for the grand prize. Try. This is a difference of everything. It's one game.
I don't care how many seasons of LSS we do. I feel like the pick band for this series right here is going down in LSS history.
Cool. I
Dude,
love that.
It was so far absolutely epic.
Wait, watch this. Look at Brown Man Darius. Why is he not hitting it? Darius, kill that ward. Darius could get level 2 on first. Did Darius kill the ward? No. It was Olaf. I don't understand that. Darius, if he kills that ward, for those of you who don't know,
Castle was trying to get him to as well.
Will get level 2 on wave number 1. You don't have to wait for that melee minion from the second wave, and that could be a kill on Shen if Shen doesn't know that.
So that's really weird. It seemed like Castle was trying to give it to him, and maybe Brown Man Darius was kind of like looking somewhere else, or
maybe he didn't want to show the 1 CS. That's the only thing I can think of is he doesn't want to show that he was even there. I don't know, but wait, Galio with the level 1 taunt. Vayne actually can kind of, oh wait, she can scrap level 1, but she already got hooked. Ignite going down onto both. Hit him up, Rob, and Jaeger, who's forced to flash away and heal. It's so close.
Wow, we are starting out guns a-blazing.
Yeah, I mean, Vayne opened up for, the auto Q, which she can actually trade reasonably well as a level 1 champion, but then getting hooked by Nautilus there, Ignites go down, and it is just on here. She has to burn the heal, and Kaisa still has the cleanse. Other than that, pretty even. Other than, oh yeah, Vayne took a bad back as well. Try.
Yeah, that is rough. That's a rough start to a game in a lane that doesn't necessarily look good for you in the first place.
Well, good hook by Hit 'em Up Rob. He's already showing up in this game 5. This is why he's out there. This is why he's among the greats. All these guys out here insanely good at the game. Here's that level 2 for Darius. He's going to miss the Q. Gets taunted by Shen. And here's the early Hecarim visit. 2 ghosts being popped here. But can Brown Man Darius 1v2? He needs that Q. He does. He only gets 1 heal. Oh,
he's going to die.
Jabbar, is he going to burn? He doesn't have Triumph. He burns, and it's a trade. But Jabbar has TP. Darius doesn't. So I think that's actually fine for Jabbar if he could TP back to lane and make sure his wave state isn't bad. And get
it looks like he's walking, though.
Here's Digital Stain. Look at that. Massive all-in on KVB, burning his flash. Try. There's a lot going on in these early minutes.
Dude, these guys are
wait,
swinging
it's a
right
scrap
now.
for Crab. It's 2v2. Venerated forced to flash away because Castle is too scary at this point in the game. They don't want to go Fog of War. Shen opting not to
I'm trying to see more fisticuffs. Let's go.
Shen doesn't use TP top, which tells me the wave's already pushing to him, and it's already a decent wave state. So he's going to maintain his TP advantage here. And then off of the bad Vayne back, depending on how much she cleans up here, she can maybe even out, but I think she's down a handful of farm as well. We see Castle looking for a double Crab. Typically, you don't see Olaf on the map until he's level 4 because he goes for the full 24 CS clear, but needs to be active against this Hecarim early, who showed early, and is going to be able to get a double Crab because of it. And now Darius is actually moving, okay? He's getting a ward for Mark.
Wow, this already starting off so fast. Guys, we're at the 4-minute mark, and we've seen plays all across the map already. We've seen kills on both sides, and it's just starting off with a bang.
I gotta say, the one thing that might go overlooked or unnoticed by any onlookers is that Castle is doing his thing again. I think he's off to the races and going to be able to farm gap the Hecarim. I know it doesn't look like it now, but I think he's set up to actually be able to full clear this bot into top, and then he can look to play around Darius and get Hecarim's top respawn camps if he doesn't want to base for an item. But he is already ahead a bit. I just think Castle, when he gets off to a lead, Castle is so good at taking subtle advantages and just snowballing them out of control. He doesn't throw. He doesn't make the bad decisions. That's why he plays these scaling champions that power farm. Olaf, not much of a scaler, but a power farmer. You guys get the idea. But here we return to the Darius and the Shen lane, which I gotta say has to be Darius' favorite. It just has to be.
Yeah. And being able to trade that 1-for-1 on the 2v1 gank is just incredible.
For
and
sure.
I think that's the kind of thing is like maybe that put him in a bad spot, but I no longer think it does.
And his wave, the wave is pretty bad for Shen here. I think he is risking he might have to risk his life to crash this. It looked like 4 minions, maybe one was really low. It's close. No, it actually looks like it's bouncing to Shen, and he'll be able to safely let it push to him. I wish I could get a really good look at that wave.
Yeah,
but
it was bouncing back and forth too quickly.
It was tough. Because remember, it was a Shen into, I think, it was a Shen into someone else where the Shen's wave was bad, and he had to risk his life to reset it and died, and it snowballed out of control.
Oh, the hook lands.
Hook lands on a Jaeger. Is there going to be follow-up?
That taunt is so good right there to counteract and engage off that hook.
For sure, for sure.
It stops Kaisa from ever getting a chance to put damage on Jaeger when he is CC'd. So.
And remember that Galio
good pick.
Was last pick for red side here.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is what I was talking about for Castle. He did recall and get that spear thing, and now, but he is going to visit Darius lane top side where he is not afraid of Sekiro at all. I think he grabbed both of those medium-sized Krugs. The Seraphine ulti off the back of the Olaf. It hits, and is it all in? Castle! Oh, he's low, but so is Hecarim. And it's Jabbar here in a 1v3.
KVB's here as well.
Jabbar's been in this situation pretty much every game this series, and looks like they'll walk away now. Shen, a champion with the tools to turn dives. Very tough to dive. Not only the taunt, which everybody remembers, but the one everyone forgets about, the W. The auto attack stopping barrier thing that he drops makes him really hard to dive. But I think it's a matter of time before Darius runs away with this. I don't know why I feel the need to keep saying that, but it's just Brown Man Darius on his mans. So what do we think so far, Tri? Do you like any team much better
It's
than the
so hard.
other?
I'm really inspecting what's going on the map and trying to figure out like what I think. But I think the calls you're making about Castle here, just you called it. You said he's in his bot. He's starting to pick up the pace on the CS, and it didn't look like it then, but now he is up 10 farm still, making his way back to his full clear, so he might be up like 20 CS, and he's already like moving around with his team to impact the map, going top with Mark Boots, looking for stuff. It didn't pay off there, but they got sums, and they had KVB roaming top to look to defend something like. I think it also kind of like plays this game on McMaster where they're like hectically racing to like, stop him from doing what he did on the Graves.
Yeah.
And sending KVB top kind of gives them this chance that both laners are down here scaling. You could see we have level 4 on the supports, but level 6 on both ADs. So.
And going back to what have we said about Sekiro's jungler? When he played a volley barrier, early aggro, they won. Then he played 2 power farmers, they lost both. Then he went to Lee Sin, early aggro, and they win. He's on a power farmer now. So I think going back to the Mad City strategy of leaving Hecarim up, they said, let's put Sekiro on a champion that needs to full clear, and we'll just do it better than him. And I think that's what we're seeing.
Yeah.
And now Jaeger looking to crash his way, but Castle's around the corner. Oh no, the Galio Justice Punch gets knocked up. Here comes the Unstoppable from Olaf. They're going Galio first, but Hecarim is here. TP's coming in. Seraphine's here to help. So is Shen. Sekiro picks up Digital Stain. Now is it a dive, or are they just going to settle for Castle? Also drops as well. This looks pretty good for McMaster.
Oh,
a double
so good
onto Jaeger. That's massive. Well
and they're
played by
Drake
McMaster.
as well. Infernal as the first Drake. Ooh. That is a great start for this Vayne spot lane.
That can turn the whole game.
Yes, they're
right
coming
there.
back to lane, ready to rumble with the Infernal Drake, with a nice buy. I don't know how much gold she has, but she's going to come back with at least a few components of, what does she build? Kraken Slayer?
Who is this, Vayne?
Vayne.
It's, yeah. Kraken sometimes, or, yeah, I think mostly Kraken.
Okay.
But wait.
Maybe, what is it?
Oh, Shield Bow?
No.
Gale Force?
Maybe Gale Force if it was really necessary, but I don't think it is this game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think that's ever that necessary, I mean, because she just
has
like
tumble.
Yeah, if you're already dodging. But okay, we talked about this, Try. Shen used ulti to go bot to get his Vayne ahead, but he's paying the price for it top. He's down 32 farm. against Darius, who now, because of that Shen TP, probably can kill him.
Yeah.
And that's just
And
simply,
we're about to
simply how
see
Darius
something
works.
here now. Oh, okay. He's out.
He'll taunt away. But remember, it's not Shen that deals with Darius. It's Jaeger on Vayne that deals with Darius. So if you sack your lane top, which he effectively did, but your Vayne gets a double kill, that is what Shen wants to happen. So we're kind of seeing at least that aspect of this matchup play out. And it puts a lot of responsibility on Brown Man Darius' shoulders to carry and Jaeger's shoulders to carry. So these two threats emerging for either team. And Castle back to work. You know, his farm lead, I think. Oh, wait a second. It's a red TP. McMaster University looking to make another play. They're opening up on Digital Stain, who has no flash. He's as good as dead. Jaeger with his third. Can they donate this one over?
Yeah,
this is brutal. Venerated will go ahead and scoop that one. Put himself on the board. And it's all about topside for MAAD City. We see the map being split here. Castle knows not to, you know, salvage the losing lane, but to play to your winning lane. They're going to go ahead and get first brick over to Darius. So, again, it's gold. The team with the gold from the Herald onto their Darius versus the team who already have Drake 1 and 3 kills on Vayne. That's what you needed to avoid here. If you are MAAD City, I think at all costs, if Darius can slowly win you the game, you don't need to take anything that could get Vayne ahead. But it's McMaster being proactive and using their comp wisely to set the Vayne up.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of it. But like you were saying, I mean, Darius up 50 farm now, 40 farm, and Vayne. But, I mean, dude, I'm just like, I don't know how to break this game down yet. I'm just looking at what's going on. I mean, they're tied up in gold regardless of the kill lead for McMaster, but, like, the Vayne is just going to be scary for their team.
Every game has come down to execution, and simply put, it's just
I know, that's why it's hard to break down because you're right. It's coming down to the way they play it, so it's hard to predict or try and – you know, analyze what could happen with these comps and who has the lead now and yada yada, because there's just gonna be one fight where somebody makes a sick play, and it just changes everything.
He's looking for the 1v2, but he has the Shen ulti on him. This is gonna be a 2v2. Taunt will miss Digital Stain, so he'll be able to peel it off. But the Unstoppable from Sekiro will come in. Can he follow up with the autos? He does, and that's Kaisa going down now just to Sekiro with the Shen ulti. This is how you run Hecarim Shen, by the way. In a nutshell, you could take 1v2 if you have that Hecarim. If you have that Shen ulti, make it a 2v2. Great play by McMaster University. And they are off to the races in this game, but gold is close, but they're up a Drake. Oh, man. But they're down first turret. It's so back and forth try, and now we see Hecarim is on the board. Yes, he's down in farm, so all that smack we talked about Castle, I think, was low-key thwarted by the response play we saw from McMaster in the bot lane. Kind of threw him off a bit. He'll still have a nice farm lead, as we see, but Hecarim picking up 2 kills is good enough to keep him alive in the mid-game against Olaf. And Vayne completes Kraken, 13:36. Mark that moment in history.
Dude, yeah, that is a...
You know, we might be looking back at that as the critical moment here if Vayne pops off and gets a penna here. But Brown Man Darius going to have to look to play the split game. If you team fight into Vayne or as Darius, really tough, right? So how do you play it? You split, but he has Ghost, right? So it adds another dimension of Shen can just sit there and catch your waves. You have to dive him. You can't make it to the fight across the map because you have Ghost. He can. He has 2 ways to make it across the map. So it's just a defense game for Shen and a split game for Darius. If Darius does opt to team fight, we got to keep our eyes on it, the way he interacts with Vayne, because Vayne will just shred him in 6 autos, and there's no way to reliably get onto the Vayne. So he needs his team's help. He needs a nice Seraphine ulti to go crazy. Something
about that Shen-Darius matchup as well is like the farm gap is not really getting any bigger regardless of Shen making other plays, you know, with ulti. So, you know, it's like how much will that really impact the outcome at the moment?
Yeah, not a lot so far, Try. I'm with you on that one.
They're the same level as well. I think that should be noted, even though he's up 50 CS.
And it's going to be a start for MAAD City uncontested. Yeah, interesting. I mean, they have Darius in the bot lane, and it looked like maybe Shen didn't want to use TP or just no contest, or maybe McMaster wants to go late, play slow. Hard to know here, but Drake going over to MAAD, going to tie that up. And guys, the score is 7-1, but look up at the gold. It is less than 1K difference here. These teams, it might not look like it, but neck and neck.
So this is where we're talking about, like, I think Harold might be up in like 2 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, it doesn't tell us, but
I'm trying to think of. I don't even remember when the first Harold play was.
it was top turret when Olaf took it.
Yeah. Okay. Now I remember.
Long time ago. It could be up any second, but this, you know, you could press O. But here, let me just.
No, we can't. We see no, hourglass on it, so it's not coming up yet. Okay, now we do. So about 60 seconds, probably.
Okay, cool. Oh, it's just the timers at the top that don't. It just shows Baron. Okay,
Yeah.
I see now.
Yeah, yeah. But so now we do see the hourglass. Is that a 60-second timer from gray and then 30 for yellow?
I think so. Yeah. Right?
I think makes sense, right? Right, guys? It
The
makes sense.
Wait. The yellow one might be 15 seconds. I don't think the yellow one's
So maybe
30.
it's 30 and 15.
Maybe 30 and 15. I'm actually got that one backwards now. Okay, but teams are lining up top side with their multi-man formations here, looking for this Herald. We all know the Herald that, oh, wait a second. Hit him up, Rob, forced to flash away. The Herald that can't get you plates is not as important. Sometimes teams just give this away just for map control on the other side of the map. But it looks like both of these teams want this. So how bad does either team want it? What are they willing to risk? Because, you know, Herald doesn't do much damage. It doesn't offer much. But hit him up, Rob. Going to find a hook on a Venerated, putting KVB in the middle of the mix. Pretty decent shockwave. Hecarim ulti, or I'm sorry, Shen ulti going on to Hecarim. They're grouped up, getting Digital Stains flash, and it's a full-on disengage. No one drops.
Wow.
And it's back
so
to...
much burned there with no kills is surprising to see. But it looks like they're just going to get the Herald. I was thinking maybe, like you said, it's not as important. Maybe MAAD City was just looking for the setup to fight over Herald.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the fight turns out to be nothing.
Yeah, it's like the team that is there first probably wants to fight because they should, in theory, have vision control. The team that's approaching should be apprehensive there, depending on how badly they want that objective.
Yeah.
And for second Herald, you see that it was, you know, not a full commit, but, you know, kind of just a look from McMaster. And then when they, you know, big cooldowns went down, they sort of played the disengage. Can't blame them for that, but it is going to be Cloud Soul try for this game 5 here.
Classic Cloud Soul every game.
It's up in 1 minute 40 and some change. We'll have to see where the players go. So typically you want Shen away from that objective. I see Shen walking bot. I don't like that right away. Vayne, you know, needs to travel the map. I think Shen should be top here for McMaster University to get the most out of the pick, right? Because you're going to probably shield the Hecarim or save your Vayne, and you might as well be pressuring a lane if you can get away with it while you do that. And you know Darius can't go top in this situation because he doesn't have TP, right? So I think Shen should be top lane, not bot lane. We'll have to see if they want to swap him. They have a minute 17, as we do have a pause here. Whew!
I know, this is a game and a half. Oh. Okay, we got a little bit of lag issues here, so that's the reason for the pause. Assuming they'll just, maybe someone will try to reconnect or close a few things up on their computer and see if things could go back.
So now do you like team?
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Now do you like a team much more than the other?
Dude, not really, kind of. Like, I really don't know where this game is going.
Yeah, it looks like set up for a Vayne carry, if I had to say.
Like, I just think that the farm difference is not that big as far as Darius goes on the Shen. Like, he's not really doing much with it. And Darius, I feel like, wants to be doing more right now, and McMaster kind of just shutting that down. Not shutting him down, but shutting down his opportunities to, you know, really showcase his Darius.
Right.
And now the Vayne being 3-0, she's catching up in farm at this point. Kaisa's falling behind. We're working on second item. I'm assuming it will be a Phantom Dancer and then I don't know what's after that, IE for Vayne, and it's like, that is big. That's a big damage.
I'm not sure what Vayne's third item is.
Me neither. I think it might be IE right now, but
Okay.
I'm not 100%.
Yeah, maybe. The way I'm looking at this game, and the reason I like McMaster here is we see the emerging threats. The Darius is getting strong. The Hecarim is, maybe even with Olaf, maybe slightly ahead. But the Vayne being ahead, right? So if one team has a Darius that is ahead, but the other team has a Vayne that's ahead, if you think about the way those two champs go, it's just Vayne deals with Darius so well. The wild card try, in my opinion, is the Seraphine versus Orianna, right? Both have these massive impact ultimates that can just win you the game on a dime, right? So if Seraphine, we've all seen it, the
I
random
know, yeah.
Seraphine ulti that wins you the game. It just hits your entire team. Okay, a resume and then an insta-pause. The random Seraphine ulti that can win you the game, but across from her is Orianna, who can do the same with her ultimate, right? So these massive cooldowns in the mid lane, in my opinion, are the wild card here. I think Hecarim and Olaf are of similar power levels. Like, if you look at maybe the top jungle 2v2, similar power levels. The Vayne, obviously massively ahead, but the wild cards in the mid lane and those abilities. And then we've seen both Hit 'em Up Rob and KVB be those playmakers for their team. So, I think everybody's execution is massively important in this game. It's all 10 members. It's whoever works best together. And to me, slightly MCM favored, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the tables flip.
Okay. I was thinking as you were finishing that off, is like they retimed that repause just for you, just so you could finish your thoughts.
Oh, thanks,
It
boys.
was so perfect.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate. Let's get back into the action. Try. Darius, a champion that can bleed this match out up. We just haven't seen it yet. It's been more of a team game and less of a Darius solo queue stompy. But it's Brownman Darius on a signature pick. If anyone's going to carry this game even into a Vayne, it's this guy. He probably knows better than most how to manage.
He's probably played that matchup many a times.
And then, I mean, there's always, like, the Olaf can run the Vayne down through the entire team, right? Castle, I'm sure. Like, Vayne can't deal well with Olaf with his ulti on, right?
Yeah.
So she can go invis and actually make it pretty tough for him. But
like, if she waits it out, like, there's times, I mean, something that is, like, intermediate Vayne tech is not just queuing and autoing on, on the queue for the damage. Like, you
wait the invis a bit.
You don't, yeah. The invis lasts until you auto. So
how long can that last for?
I don't know the exact time, but it's like your Q has a set duration that it will do that bonus damage until you, before it goes away and the cooldown will start to go again. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure the invisibility will last for that duration as well.
Pretty nuts.
So it might be like 2 seconds, maybe a second. I'm not sure. 2 seconds or something sounds better.
I think if Vayne's bases aren't covered and Olaf tags her with an axe, he can go ahead, pop ulti, rush her down, and in that moment you can't condemn him. And I'm thinking about it right now. It might be more like 5 seconds. Think about like when a Vayne like Q and then wants to hit an auto, like it could be like a 5 second. There's no way, because imagine you go to gank a Vayne and she just like
turns invis
and just walks out for 5 seconds.
Like, so the invisibility cannot be the duration of the damage proc.
It must be its own duration then. Either way, invis, pretty good way to deal with Olaf, but back to like, the grand scheme of things. Okay, Darius is strong, but Vayne's strong, but Olaf can deal with Vayne. It's like different pieces of these comps can kind of deal with different champions differently, and that comes down to the way you line up for fights. I mean, obviously the angles you can find, if you find a great angle, it probably means the champs that you have that can deal with theirs are doing what they should do. So it really comes down to execution. Definitely.
Something to note here is like the farm differences are kind of starting to switch up a little bit. I mean, we have a farm lead on Orianna mid, and this farm lead for Kai'Sa is getting smaller and smaller as the time goes by.
Yeah, that's good to point out too. It means, Vayne has found her footing in this game. She's 2 items, and third. Oh, okay, she just has that magic resist cloak, and we've had some downtime here. Not a lot going on here.
Yeah. I think that's what McMaster wants. I think you had said that earlier, but They just want this game to go long for Vayne, I
Oh,
think.
wait a second. KVB could go down for free here. I don't think that is what he wanted.
I think he was trying to potentially just kite for Vayne, not realizing that that was a 5-man play happening in mid.
Jumped in, and right as he hit the E, he knew he messed up probably. But we see Venerated over the Baron wall. We've seen Orianna Shockwave steal Baron today, earlier in our first series. Can they do it again? Watch Sekiro going over the
She
wall.
needs to be careful she doesn't get pulled over by Darius.
Eyes on Sekiro here if he can find an angle, but maybe the threat of ball plus Baron is enough to stop Mad City's Baron.
Okay. I think that's... I don't know if they needed to do that, but I kind of like the way they're playing it. It's game 5. Everything is on the line here, and Mad City doesn't want to overstep their boundaries and look for a play that's not guaranteed when it could mean the difference between a victory and a loss.
You know why? It really was a good pull away from Mad City, and it would have been a terrible Baron force because you have Sekiro over the wall, so effectively it's a 50-50. And Orianna's job is to dance outside your range. Wait till your call is for commit Baron, and then when everybody's hitting Baron, you go Shockwave. And because
Sekiro
everybody has
comes
to be
over
in pit,
Yeah.
And so when you see Ori ball and you're hitting Baron, it really puts a lot of pressure on your call to burst Baron. It kind of forces you to turn. But if Ori knows that, she's going to tether your whole team while Baron hits you, right? So a really good Ori is going to space that properly and actually has a ton of presence and threat in that situation. Also, I always like to see a team start Baron and peel away. They did lose mid-tier 1 try, if you were watching, and that was
like
the cost of that start.
Yeah, Baron is not... It's one of those things that you see. It's like a lot of teams will die for Baron.
They think
if they start it. Starting it means it has to be finished.
Yeah, like it doesn't mean that, but yeah, the coordination it takes to start and peel off or disengage or turn or burn is really a tricky situation for a lot of teams.
It needs to be immediate, otherwise people get punished for it. Like,
that's right.
If you don't say, all right, everyone leave now, then people start getting chunked by Baron. People are like, wait, are we staying or are we going? Then the Orianna Q hits somebody. It's like...
And would it be a Game 5 of LSS Grand Finals if it wasn't tied up almost here? 1K difference about. 2 Drakes to 1. Drake number 3 spawning in 25, but try its Cloud Soul. I mean, yes, it's good for this team, it's good for that team, but is it really that impact of the mountain, the ocean, the Inferno that we've been seeing all day? I think possibly it's givable. So how much are teams willing to put on the line for these later Cloud Drakes is my question. Both teams appear to want this. And you know what? Mad City get to just walk in for free. This has to be a mistake from McMaster University. Maybe not having the players there in time, but to just let them walk in and find River. And now they have a tag on Sekiro.
Oh, whoa, that is aggressive. And is it working?
Brown Darius is frontline v frontline with a nice Seraphine ulti charm on 2 and a root on 2. This is what I'm talking about. That is 1 man down here for Mad City.
That is 2 man.
2 for Brown Darius. He's doing it.
Oh,
is that a dunk for the 3rd? It is. The triple kill for Brown Darius. He found an angle where it was front line versus front line. He goes Galio first. That's what Darius is good at. They let Mad City walk right in the river for free without using your zoning abilities, your Orianna. Shen is nowhere to be found at all. And it is downhill here from McMaster University.
That is what Darius was playing so calm and collected for this entire game. Not trying to get out of control to take his lead, just a 1-in-1 game, picking up his CS. And what do you know? With the team setting him up right, he picks up the triple, and now he's looking pretty huge.
Oh my goodness. What a epically historic Darius triple kill. But look at this 50-50. Hecarim goes in slightly early. It goes over to Castle. Huge smite here. The Galio ulti coming in to back up the Hecarim, but they could both be dead. Oh, it was the Shen he was backing up, and Galio will give his life for that. The table is flipped. The momentum is all Mad City now. They're ahead. They're up in gold. They're on Soul Point. Their Darius is off, and their Kai'Sa's working on item number 3. What a swing. What a turn of events in this insanely crucial
Mad
Game
City
5.
is a bunch of mad lads, let me tell you.
That's right.
So now they get the pressure from Baron. like you said, the soul point is up in 340, so they can really do a lot. I mean, do they want to get the 1-3-1 here for Baron in all lanes? I don't really know. I mean, they could have Darius. So Darius bot.
Yeah, right now that we see a 4-1. The tricky thing about 1-3-1 here, Tries, they only have one TP. Darius
That's what I was
has
thinking.
Ghost.
I was kind of thinking like, oh, yeah.
So it's tough to say because if you group
They need to stay a little closer, I think.
Like,
so being top bot or
like,
mid bot is good.
Galio could flash here and they could 5v4 if Darius is bot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Galio doesn't have flash, but if you hard engage this 5v4, and that's what KBB is looking for, not quite yet. You know, Mad City understands that they're playing 4-1. That's why you back up when you see a Chemtech come at you, and there you go, red turret destroyed. So you see the push and pull going on here from Mad City to get the most out of this Baron, and it ends up being a 4-1 with Darius split. And what I like about this 4-1, instead of sending a member top and leaving that member astray, all 4 of your mid lane members are relatively close to Darius, right? It's one quick rotate through one quick jungle quadrant. I think if you 1-3-1, you're stretching yourself too thin for Hecarim Shen to punish and find an angle. So, you know, they are getting some Baron efficiency by being in multiple lanes, but they're not spreading themselves too thin, and you can see the push-pull that they're playing with.
So they're getting so much out of this, and now they're as 5-man top. Are they going to look for this inhib here? Shen's bot.
And that's a hook coming in. Venerated drops instantly. It's Mad City looking to win the fight. Next goes down to Sekiro on Hecarim. And it's Brown Man Darius going crazy. Vayne is an absolute non-factor. Members dropping. Mad City looking to advance the base. There's almost nothing that can stop them. It's only Shen. It's only Jabbar.
Dude, this is game.
And it's GG.
This is Mad City taking home the championship title.
Season 2 Grand Finals champions here. Mad City coming into the league with an absolute bang and finishing strong. McMaster University gave us an absolutely amazing, historic performance of a series, but it goes
like
5, and it goes Mad City.
The historic pick ban phase with these teams. And would you look at that?